As a sovereign global citizen, how can you utilize, or how can any sovereign global citizen utilize blockchain, utilize digital assets, utilize everything that we have talked about so far to really ensure a sovereign future for themselves? And what could that look like increasingly in the future with more digital assets that would really be able to help in accomplishing this? What does that look like now, and what could that look like in the future as this continues to be built out?
Yeah, there are a couple of different answers to that. One of them maybe is kind of a bit of a bridge between the last question and this one, which is the approach of responsibly investing into digital assets in a climate where not all of them will succeed and not all of them will succeed to the same level, right? So thinking through something like investing in stocks, if someone if you're interested in investing in stocks, most people will on an intuitive basis as at this point know that they shouldn't just go find whatever stock is number one out there and throw all their eggs into that basket. But they also intuitively know to some extent that they shouldn't just find something that just IPO'd and put all their eggs into that basket either, right? And when you look at more kind of disciplined, systematic approaches to investing and managing wealth in these more traditional asset classes, you'll see, let's say diversification across, blue chip, medium cap, low cap assets. You'll see diversification across, different, let's say, different geographics. You'll see also, different markets, such as, let's say an allocation to, bank stocks versus tech stocks, that sort of thing, right? And very similarly, that's the approach that we look to take in managing wealth and in investing in the digital asset space. So that's one area where essentially to your point, there is this huge opportunity for growth in the space, but it also needs to be approached with responsible and systematic approaches, just like in any other asset class. But beyond that, the roles that it can play in terms of thinking through, global investment and let's say going where you're treated best in the market, for example, is that, well, a couple of things. Firstly, digital assets have routinely shown low to no correlation with a whole range of other asset classes. So, it has often shown low correlation to the stock market, the bond market, the real estate market, even has shown low correlation pretty consistently to the gold market, which is interesting because crypto, Bitcoin are very often kind of called digital gold. And there's this kind of false equivalency between the kind of job that gold can do versus the job that crypto can do. But the overall point is that investing a manageable portion of an overall portfolio into digital assets can help to smooth things out when you are seeing globally situations in various markets like the stock market or the bond market. Because when that has happened historically, such as in COVID, when stocks got hit really hard, Bitcoin and many other cryptos got hit a lot less, or at points where the real estate market has gotten hit really hard. Also, these have in some cases been points where there's actually been a huge kind of upward swing in the crypto market. So that correlation, that low to no correlation, and kind of harnessing that is one area. Another area in terms of kind of global diversification would be that from our perspective, what we're looking to do is to work within digital asset frameworks that have clear guidelines on what wealth managers, what investors can and can't do, both from a overall kind of markets regulatory standpoint and from a digital asset specific standpoint. So that's where we have decided to be working with Cayman Islands based vehicles, where Cayman is hands down the number one location for overall allocation into alternative asset funds as an overall, let's say, outside of the US type of basis. And so in that regard, I think it brings up a larger point of preparing for the fluctuations in regulatory climates in various countries where there's starting to be certain changes for better in some cases, for worse in others, in various jurisdictions around the world. But in a climate, regulatory, and infrastructural climate like Cayman, there has been very clear and kind of consistently developing guidelines on what ways that investors are protected and ways that opportunities for digital asset investments are supported. And so that to us is one of the areas of answer to that question of going where you're treated best.
I am such a proponent of going where you are treated best.